Hello, how are you, Tamara and Juan?
Hello, good
Hello,
afternoon.
good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon. So, hello to everyone. We are here today, a week more, as a week with Juan Carlos, but today we have Tamara. So, as we told you, we are going to try to have Tamara like once a month because there are always some doubts regarding the translation of documents, and Tamara is a sworn translator or an official translator. How do we say it? Do we say sworn or do we say official,
We
Tamara?
say we say sworn translator, and but most of people write certified translators when they ask
Certified.
for doubts. Yeah,
Exactly. So, because in immigration, having legalized and having also translated correctly the documents is as important as doing the procedure following the law. I think it is very useful to have her once a month and explain what are the difficulties or the general doubts. So, Tamara, this is your time. You are welcome.
yes. Hello, we are part of a group in Facebook, which most of you may know, which is Spain Guru. Okay, so we have noticed that there are always like same type of questions regarding the sworn translators, and I would like to go with some of them. So, for example, someone back in September asked if when applying for a temporal residence for herself and her daughter, sorry, uh, she asked if the documents in English need to be translated into Spanish. So yes, they need to be translated into Spanish, as we have mentioned before, and they have to be translated by a certified or sworn translator. So the type of documents she was talking about, they were birth certificate, financial statements. So you need to go to the official list, or you can just send us an email, and we can help you with the official translations. Okay.
And
Another
Tamara,
yeah,
as you were saying last time, the good thing about now is that you can send a digital document which is perfectly valid, right? You don't have to
yes.
send a hard copy.
That's it. What we have been allowed to do is, instead of using like normal copies and email them by ordinary mail, we can just sign them with our digital signature, so the translations can be handled like immediately. So, and this has like shortened all the times. Okay.
Okay,
So
perfect.
there is another question. Okay, so someone from the United States asked if a translation from a translator in the United States could be valid. Okay, so normally the Spanish public administration prefers to accept documents translated by a sworn translator duly appointed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Spain. Okay, there is also a post where I wrote about apostille and translations. So when you have your official document in English, what you need to do first of all is to apostille it. Then we can make the whole translation, both the document and the apostille. And then you don't need to apostille the translation as well, because we, the sworn translators, certify the truthfulness and faithful of the official documents. So you just gather all your documents, you apostille them, and then you send to the sworn translator, to get the official translation. Okay.
So let me clarify something that you said because it's very interesting. I think that administration is not just that they prefer an official translator, is that really the law asks for that. So I've seen cases that it's true that sometimes the administration is not as tough or as picky, and they haven't. I think that they just haven't noticed that it's not from the Ministry of Affairs, because I have seen cases in which it's just a normal translation from a translator in the US, and then they get the apostille on the translator, translation and goes through. But I think it's not worth it to try to do that because prices are the same, or well, even now, for example, Tamara will tell you we are going to do a Black Friday in translation, so or even cheaper here, but in the end, if it's not cheaper, is the same, and you are complying perfectly with the law, because it's not worth it to be waiting for any decision from administration that it takes always in immigration 1 month, in the best case, or 3 months, for them to tell you, okay, but this is not correctly translated because we need official translation. So I think following the law from the beginning to the end, what you do is like you have the resolution quicker, because it's not that they will deny it, but they will tell you that they need the official translation. So in the end, if they stop the procedure, they ask you for the document, you get the translation, and you go back with the correct document, in the end, it's 3 more weeks. So, well, that's just a clarification. Sorry, Tamara.
No, no problem. Yeah, and there was another question which asked about the economical means. Okay, so someone asked that when applying for a non-lucrative, they are required financial means records or document that certifies that you have your own economical means. Okay, and he asked if it's necessary to have a sworn translator. Of course, once again, you can, depending on the bank, you can just download it, or you have to go to the branch or to the office to ask for it. But then you need to ask for the sworn translation. Okay, you can have a bank certificate, which will be a letter. Or you can have like the bank statement, okay, like that shows the transfers and has more details. But yes, they need to be translated for all.
And Tamara, when you have to translate the bank statement, so the 6 last months of movements, what do you translate? So there are only numbers, so are there things that must be translated in the movements?
Yes, you need to translate almost everything. The primary information, the information which is the most relevant, normally appears in the first page. So if you want to reduce your own cost, you just can like ask for a sworn translation of the first page of each month, if it's better for you, because sometimes it appears like the month, the number of the bank account, your address, your name, of course, and the balance, both the beginning one and the final balance. Okay, so if you want, you just can like send the first page of the month bank statement, and you will have what they need actually.
Because all the other things just are quantities, right?
Yeah, sometimes they are transfers, or they are assets, or sort of things that they are not important, because the final balance appears in the first page, which is important, appears in the first page.
Okay. Thank you, Tamara. So we are preparing an offer, right, for Black Friday. We will post it, I think, this week, maximum next week. I think tomorrow we will have it ready, like the campaign from Black Friday.
Yeah, we are approaching Black Friday, so we are preparing something for you, okay, for those who are interested. So thank you once again.
Okay, thank you, Tamara. So
Thank you.
we will continue, Juan and I, to answer the immigration question, and if there are any translation questions, we will keep it for you, and we will post it with your answer. Okay?
Perfect. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So Juan, how are you?
Fine, and you? How are you?
Fine. We are doing a lot of appeals this week, right?
Yes, we are doing some appeals indeed. Some of them based on some like terrible mistakes that we think that the foreign office made. Some regarding this document from outside. For example, a recent one from Valencia, the star of for appeals,
Ah,
which
yeah,
stated in the first time that they denied an application based on the next motive that the document provided didn't have a legalization on it, and it was a Spanish document. So it was like
yeah. So
uh,
remember that legalization only needs to be done to foreign documents because a document from Spain doesn't need legalization or translation. But in Valencia, because we have a lot of problems always in Valencia, I think they keep having new people working there and they don't understand nothing about immigration and they keep doing this kind of denials that it makes things like the more just take longer because we need to tell how they should do their job, right, Juan?
yeah, and we told them by email like, oh, okay, there's this huge mistake, please amend it. And they said, sure, no worry, we are going to amend it. And they issued a new resolution like within a couple of, actually at the next day. And this resolution was again a denial, and this time because the bank certificate was not apostille, even though it's a private document. So it was like, okay, you just want to deny me the permit, so you're just trying to search for a reason to deny it, which doesn't make any sense. Because, as you may be aware, even if you are not lawyers, the private documents cannot be legalized or apostilled. Only the public documents. Okay, they can make you go to the notary and then legalize the notarization, but that doesn't make any sense when the person is in here and cannot go to a notary in the U.S. because he's in here and he showed that he gets the money from the account in the US to the bank in Spain. So it doesn't make any sense. They are like trying to tell the person that he must get the whole money for a student permit, actually, because it wasn't like a very hard procedure. He has to have all the money at the moment in Spain. He's not allowed to have money anywhere in the world, just Spain. So something that is not in law, something that is not in any of the laws that apply for this. So it's just something that they made up.
Yes,
So yes, we have this
this is
kind.
Valencia.
Exactly. So we have this
So
kind.
we are doing also an appeal, which I think is very interesting to share because maybe there are more people in this situation, and please share it with us if you were successful or if you also had this problem, because we have someone modifying with us from búsqueda de empleo, which is a residency, to non-lucrative. So you know that when you get a búsqueda de empleo, the job seeking residency, you have a year in order to look for a job or build up your own project. But if nothing of this happened in this year, the general law allows to modify any kind of residency, any kind. Another thing is a student stay, because that is not a residency, okay? But any kind of residency after a year to another kind of residency, in this case, non-lucrative. Well, because this is very new, because job seeking option is been 2 years or something like that, or 3 maximum this option in the law, the same as practical. This is very new in immigration, and some always that we have things new in immigration, we have problems because civil workers, or I don't know how you tell to the funcionarios, they never think. They just say, this is how we always have done it. This is how we always have done it. And this, because they never have done it, they don't know how to do it and they deny it. So just to clarify, a búsqueda de empleo is a residency. It's a residency that is considered, even if it's considered as a non-lucrative, because you cannot work. Remember that if you have a búsqueda de empleo, If you want to work, you need to apply for the prácticas or altamente or whichever residency you want. Okay, but if you haven't done it because you didn't have an offer, you must be able to change for non-lucrative, and that is what we have done, and we have been denied, and we are appealing this decision. And I'm 100% sure that the law that the court, if we have to go to the court, they will grant the residency. I don't know if we will need to go to the court, or with the administrative appeal it will be enough, because remember, when there is a denial, there are two kinds of appeals. One is the administrative appeal. Always you have a month to do this, and this appeal goes to the same immigration office that decide the denial. So normally a big percentage is again a no, but there is a 30 percentage of approval, because they see that they have getting mistaken with, for example, what Juan said, like that they were asking about a legalization of a Spanish document, or things like that. But things like interpretation of the law are even more difficult, and sometimes we have to go to the court, and in the court they decide, and we have a rate of success very, very, very high. And just for all of you that maybe are in the same situation, don't worry. I think it should be approved. And if you have the same problem, let us know. And the other way around, if you have modified from búsqueda de empleo to non-lucrative and was approved, please let us know, because that is very helpful for all the community and for the appeals. So please share these comments, and if you know of someone, let us know. Juan, something else that we should comment, or shall we go to the...
One thing that I think that it was also wrong, it was by the Foreigners Office at Canarias. They denied a familiar comunitario.
Yes.
They said that they haven't registered the marriage in Spain, even though it's extremely hard to do it right now because because of the COVID situation. Getting documents from the US, getting to the civil register here in Spain, everything is very hard. And even though they had a son in common, they lived in the same house. I mean, they even lived in the mother-in-law house. So which more proof you want that they are a couple when you live in the house of your mother-in-law? If that's not a proof, anything else? And they deny it.
That is like
That's denial.
Yes, exactly. That is the best of the evidences of the relationship, living with the mother-in-law.
Exactly, and we sent the registration that we applied for registration of the marriage. We sent the proof that we sent an updated marriage certificate, apostille and translated, and they say no. Even if you have a son together, even if you are married outside of Spain, you have to show that your marriage has been registered, even if that takes whatever it takes. So I think that this is very unfair, because they would have approved it if we would say that they are only an unstable couple. So how come that an unstable couple that is not married, girlfriend and boyfriend, could get registered, but not a married couple that have a son in common? So it doesn't make any sense.
And how are we doing with that, Juan? Are we waiting for the appeal, or what?
Waiting for the appeal to come through, because I actually spoke with the person that issued the resolution, not the person that issued the resolution, but the person that is going to take care of the appeal. And she told me that to put this reasoning into the appeal, and that she was going to make a very good effort to approve.
Okay, if not, we will go to the court, because in the court we have the appeal, the contencioso administrativo, okay? But there is also a very special procedure and very urgent when we can say that it affects to the derechos fundamentales, okay? And derecho a la igualdad, I think in this case we could go through that special process because they are treating them differently. So, well, we have to check. I think in the appeal, in the normal appeal, the administrative appeal, they will approve it. But here there is really, as you are telling, a different treatment for how can be that if you are not married and you have a son, you get the residency, and if you are married, you have a son, but you haven't registered, you don't get the residency. That is like very bad for the rights of the people. So yes, I think that when I always would like to go to the court and get whatever, but it's true that sometimes we try not to go to the court because it takes a little bit of more time. So we try to talk to the immigration office and try to explain them that they are doing wrong their work. There is also a case which is very interesting that we are doing now, which is difficult, but I would like to if any entrepreneur is listening us, we would like to clarify how things work because it's true that there are no good instructions regarding entrepreneurs and regarding renewals of entrepreneurs. ICEX has some information, but is information that is not even 100% correct or clear, as we have seen with one of our clients. So remember, for entrepreneurs, okay, you could have three different situations. One is that you come with a visa, an entrepreneur visa. So the entrepreneur visa, they give you normally a year of entrepreneur visa in which you could decide to change to residency at any point. But if you don't want to apply for residency, it's not mandatory. So you can be with that visa for 1 year. So after 1 year, because that is the maximum, the law, okay, it's not clear because really it's not a renewal what you do. When you get a visa and you are 1 year with the visa, you then apply for a first entrepreneur residency. But because you have been here for a year, people think, and it's normal, I would think so too, that it's a renewal. So they follow instructions for renewal, and no, if you have come with the visa and you have stayed with the visa, so you didn't apply for entrepreneur residency, after that 1 year of visa, you will need to apply for the first application of entrepreneur. And how it's explained in ICEX, it can take you to a mistake because it says that you should apply for the approval of the Ministry of Economy, and once you have the approval, you should apply for the residency. So imagine that you come with a visa, or imagine that you come as a tourist, that you have the 3 months as a tourist to do the application of entrepreneur residency. So if you apply and if you read the instruction, maybe you think that, okay, I'm here as a tourist, I'm applying for the Ministry of Economy report, and once I have approval of the Ministry of Economy report, I will apply for the entrepreneur residency. But you cannot do that after. You have to understand that you cannot do that after the 90 days of tourism. So even that is written like you should apply for the Ministry of Economy report and then apply for residency, don't get in a mistake. If you have applied for the Ministry of Economy report and you don't have it yet, but the 90 days are going to pass, you need to apply for the residency, because if not, you overstay. You don't have more time, right, Juan?
Exactly. That's it. That's the both confusions. First, even if you get a card when you have a visa, that doesn't mean that this is an initial residence permit. That's just a card that proves that you have a visa. Okay, so you don't renew that. That actually that's a very common confusion, because I had an investor last week that had a visa for investor for 1 year, and she told me that she wanted to renew, and I explained to her, no, you cannot renew. You have to apply for an initial permit. No, because I already have a visa, I have to renew it. You cannot renew that visa. You have to apply for an initial permit. How come that I have to apply for an initial permit if I already have a visa? Okay, let me explain. A visa is issued by the consulate that allows you to be in Spain for 1 year, but within the time frame of the validity of the visa, you have to apply for the initial permit. That would be your initial permit, okay? Okay, whatever. So she understood, but it's a very common mistake to make if you are not a lawyer, if you are not from Spain. In this case, this person was from an Asian country, doesn't even speak the language, so try to read the law, try to translate it, try to do it by yourself. So it's hard to understand. I cannot imagine myself going to China or to Japan or to Korea, trying to get one of these permits by myself without speaking the language, and with this kind of weird phrasing, because they don't make it very clear. So it's common, but remember, if something is not clear, it's better to get an assistance, and it's better to get to a lawyer.
Exactly, and at least to know what really you have to do and when you have to do it. So, for example, we have been telling this a lot, but we still seeing it, that with the emergency, the alarm state, all the people thought that they had 6 more months, and only people that got the expire before
Within
before
90 days before the state of alarm was issued.
exactly. So there are now people with, and it's very usual to see that the NIE expired 30th of June, okay, instead of 20. It was the maximum. It's very common to see a lot of students with the expiration in the 30th of June that they haven't done anything, and now they are asking what they should do, and they cannot renew it. They cannot now, because the extension was only for the people that expire maximum in June 20th. So remember, or you wait a little more until the 3 years and you do an arrival. That is one option. Or you go back and apply for a student visa from your own country, or if COVID restrictions ends, you go back and you come in and we apply for a new student visa from here, because that are the only 3 options that we have. Or if nothing for you work, we can do an appeal, trying to say all the problems that you had, that there was no communication, that because I have seen people trying so that they went to the appointment, but they couldn't because of the COVID. They had an appointment, was canceled, whatever. So maybe there is a chance to try to explain to immigration that there were so many difficulties to communicate with immigration, to know the law, to have the information, that maybe they will reconsider it. But of course, we don't have any, we cannot guarantee that. I'm just saying that if those 3 options, arrival or a new application, doesn't work, just we have to try to do an appeal and try to see if they reconsider doing this late, because you are doing the renewal late. What do you think, Juan?
Exactly. I mean, I think that is kind of unfair that a person which permit expire on January 2020 has 6 more months after June the 21st, and a person which permit expire on June 22nd doesn't. So
It's true.
I know that
Very good.
they set up a time frame. Okay, I know they cannot do it indefinitely, but it's kind of unfair that they all didn't get an extra 6 months.
Exactly. I think so. Okay, let's go for questions. I've seen a lot of Spanish questions. Please, Spanish questions, go for Tuesday. We need to try to do a Spanish live also, Juan. Maybe next Tuesday we try to, or any other day we will try to do a live in Spanish. But let's go, Raquel, please, with the questions in English. So John says, how do you apply for the búsqueda de empleo after your graduation or after you receive your physical diploma? Juan.
Okay, when you finish your studies, okay, that's what the law says. So if you have, even if you don't have the physical document, because it takes a while. If you ask for the master's degree
Exactly.
itself, it's going to take forever, and you're going to become a regular in Spain. So once that the university can issue a certificate stating that you have successfully finished your studies, then you can apply for búsqueda de empleo, because they will ask you to submit a paper stating that you have indeed finished your studies. So once that you have finished, once that you have graduated, you can ask for it. Of course, if you get the diploma in the meantime, you can add it up to your procedure so they can consider it that you already have the diploma. Remember that búsqueda de empleo has positive silence within 20 working days. And that it has to be electronically, online.
Exactly, yeah, that is very important. It could not go through register office. And another thing that it comes up a lot in my consultation. So remember that you can do a búsqueda de empleo 2 months before to 3 after expiration of the NIE. So if you don't have finished yet, because maybe for COVID or whatever they have extended, then don't wait because you don't have it. You need to do then a prórroga de estudios for whatever, a month, even if it's a little time, you cannot extend the situation more than 3 months after expiration. So if you haven't finished yet and you cannot get the certificate from the study center saying that you finished correctly the studies, then you need to do a prórroga de estudios, and whenever you have it, you will change to búsqueda de empleo. Please don't lose this this period, okay? Because then you become irregular and you have to start again, or well, for I don't know if they will give a búsqueda de empleo. I think that no, if they pass the time for a prácticas, you could, because remember that a prácticas can be applied from the graduation to 2 years after, okay? So you cannot stay legally here, but you could leave, for example, and come in as a tourist and apply here for practicas if you get an offer as practicas. Or you can be outside because now tourists cannot enter, and we apply from here, and then you come with a visa. So remember not to overpass, please. Book a consultation and I will give you the exact timeline if you have any doubts. Okay, Gotham say, do we need a work contract to apply for larga duración? 2 years after living in Spain for more than 5 years? So very good question. We try always to clarify this because there are 2 largas duraciones in Spain. What we say in the national one, which is larga duración, when you see in the application, and the European Union one, which is larga duración UE, so UE. So for the larga duración UE, yes, you need a contract because what they ask is for a stable means. Well, if you can show that you have very good stable means, even that you don't have a contract, maybe we could try. But is difficult. So what I would recommend if you don't have a contract is first applying for the normal one, larga duración, okay? And once you have it, you apply for the larga duración Unión Europea if you see that you have a stable means but you don't have a contract. So it's not that 100% sure that they will give it to you. If you have a contract, you can go directly to the larga duración UE, European Union. So what is the problem? That a lot of you haven't been 5 years, okay, as residents for the larga duración, and you count the time as a student as a 50%. But that, if you are counting to reach the 5 years, if you are counting the student time, the only one that you can apply for is larga duración Unión Europea, because the national one doesn't count the study time for those 5 years. So what you need to have clear is larga duración Unión Europea is the only one, the European Union one is the only one that counts study time as a 50%. But on the other hand, it asks to have a contract, okay? So you will need to apply, if you don't have a contract, you will need to apply for the normal one, for the larga duración, the normal one, but you must be here 5 years of residency. Student time doesn't count for the larga duración normal one. I hope this is clear, because there are two different concepts, but okay. If not, ask me again, because it's very important. Those say also, to apply for buscar empleo, do I have to provide a private insurance on having the social security enough? This is a very good question, because you shouldn't have it, okay? Because you are covered with social security with your contrato de prácticas, but it's true that in the beginning, I saw requirements for administration, and it's because, again, they don't know very well the law. I think that now they will be clear with that. But I've been applying with the private insurance a lot in Madrid, because they were asking for that. But really, if we go strictly to the law, you need to be covered by Social Security or with a private insurance. But if you have a contract as practicas, you are covered by Social Security. Right, Juan? What do you think about this?
Exactly. I mean, if you are covered by Social Security, then they should not issue a requirement regarding this point. It just should be the other side.
Perfect. So go down. Perfect. You can apply for the larga duración, okay? Because you weren't you weren't time as a student. It's 5 years of residency. So then you can, even if you don't have a job, you can apply for the larga duración, and it's a very good residency, because you get permanency forever, and you can go, because, for example, people, for example, with non-lucrative residencies, people with non-lucrative residencies cannot work. But if you apply for the larga duración after 5 years, you will be able to work. That is something that people don't know a lot. So remember, if you don't need as we were saying to Gozan, you don't need a contract to apply for larga duración, but the other way around. Doesn't matter what kind of residency you had, that if you get larga duración, you are very open, it's more open. You can be freelance, you can be normal employee. So, because people that are in cuenta ajena can only work in cuenta ajena. So, if you reach the larga duración, you then can be you can be autonomous or freelance or not work, and it will not affect in your residency. The other way around, freelance can only work as a freelance. If you get the larga duración, you will be able to be a normal employee, or again, not working. So it's a very good residency, and I think it's a good opportunity to apply for it. Okay, I think there are no more questions. I don't know if we should go for the Spanish ones that they are. Maybe we should. Juan, there are 2 or 3.
Okay.
Shall we switch to Spanish?
Okay.
Okay.
I have it here. Bueno,
Orlando
no,
says,
cambiamos.
okay.
I'm going to, maybe we can translate it so the person can and we
Very good. Yes. So we will speak in Spanish and in English, no? And then people can know about this answer in English also. So you say in Spanish and me in English, or the other way around.
Perfecto. Orlando pregunta, solicité nacionalidad española el 6 de marzo de 2020. ¿Es posible que me la den este año? ¿Debo renovar residencia? Bueno, pues yo doy la contestación. Mucha gente comete la equivocación de como ya solicitó la nacionalidad española o como ya se la concedieron, dice, bueno, pues ¿para qué renuevo? Ya tengo nacionalidad. Pues no, tienes que tener una residencia vigente el día de la jura. Entonces, que te la vayan a dar este año, existen probabilidades, pero lo habitual es que tarde de 6 meses a 1 año en obtenerse y hay cierto retraso por todo lo que ha ocurrido y por los expedientes que tienen. Entonces, sí que es posible que salga, como también es posible que no salga hasta el año que viene. De todas formas, tu residencia tienes que renovarla. Eso sí que lo tienes que hacer.
Okay, so in English, so y estaba preguntando si les saldrá este año. Bueno, estamos en noviembre, lo dudo, queda un mes. Lo dudamos, pero puede ser. Es que en cualquier momento pueden aprobar, tiene que haber además un plan intensivo pronto. Pero hombre, yo creo que te queda 1 mes y medio, pues bueno, nunca se sabe, pero renueva. So, in English, he was asking, he had applied for the national, for the Spanish passport, and he doesn't know if because he's been like waiting close to a year, so from March 2020, and he doesn't know if he should renew residency. So our advice always is, if you are doing a Spanish passport, if you are applying for a Spanish passport, always renew your residency. Even if you get the approval, and you see on internet the approval, renew your residency, because in the civil register offices, they are putting a lot of problems if you don't have, when you go to the jura to swear the plan. They are putting a lot of problems if you don't have a valid NIE, and also after, when you go to the police to get your Spanish ID. So we recommend, if you can, really try to be renewing your residency until you have your Spanish ID. You know that it can be done online. Is more or less easier than getting a new residency if you lose it, you know? So try to do it, please. A ver, okay, hay otro. Gaby says, if I have 2 years non-lucrative visa, can I lose it if I'm not in Spain 6 consecutive months? Yes. That is a very important, coming and going every few months for a week or 2. So what you need to check is that when all the comings to Spain and count the days, if you are not here 6 months per year, yes, that is one of the main requirements for to maintain the residency, and they will check it for the renewal. So you need to try to be here 6 months. It's true that now with COVID, they have said that in the cases that you can show that it was impossible or very, very, very difficult to come, they will make an exception on that, but they will study very well what are the circumstances. So try to comply with that, because you really, it's what the law asks for, and it's what they really check, because a renewal of the non-lucrative has like 3 requirements: being here 6 months per year, having the money, and having the private insurance. So that they will check that you haven't had problems with police and all that, but there are 3 requirements, so it's very easy for them to follow and check them. you know? So thank you for asking, because we clarify this. Okay, maybe we switch to Spanish again. Okay, Juan.
Hola, buenas noches. Si la tarjeta se ha caducado y no hay cita, pero sigo con contrato y estoy en regla, ¿afectaría por caducar o uno sigue hasta que haya cita para la tarjeta roja? Para la tarjeta roja, ¿qué se puede hacer? Bueno, esto es un caso, entiendo, de asilo, una persona que es titular de una tarjeta roja que le ha caducado y que no ha podido renovarla. Así que en este caso lo que yo entiendo que es que mientras, que de hecho también la tarjeta roja tiene una prórroga automática porque hay una instrucción de la Dirección General de Policía diciendo que la prórroga automática que hay una prórroga automática para los permisos, pero sí, mientras tanto no tengas una denegación por temas de citas, tú puedes seguir trabajando. Pero lo ideal sería averiguar el estado de esa solicitud de asilo, porque va a llegar un momento en que vas a llevar con mucho tiempo con una tarjeta caducada.
Exacto, bueno, recordar, mira, Raquel me está diciendo, recordar que también puedes cambiar arraigo si llevas 3 años, ¿vale? Si llevas 3 años, puedes cambiar arraigo y por favor no confundirse, porque es verdad que tarjeta roja va con cita, ¿vale? Pero no confundirse con los que no tengáis tarjeta roja y tengáis una residencia normal. Veo mucha gente que no ha renovado porque no tenía citas. No, eso no es excusa, ¿vale? Porque las demás, todas las residencias se pueden hacer telemáticamente. Entonces, no confundáis con tarjeta roja, no, ¿eh? Con tarjeta roja veo que va con cita. Pero todas las residencias que tengáis de arraigo, de cuenta ajena, de humanitarias, todas esas las podemos renovar telemáticamente, ¿vale? Y entonces no os va a servir el argumento de que no había citas, también las de estudiantes. En este caso, como dice Raquel, y es buena idea, recordar que siempre, Constancia hace varias, podemos cambiar del asilo al arraigo, renunciando al asilo. Pensarlo, por si os conviene más. Porque además el arraigo ahora va mucho más rápido porque lo podemos pedir telemáticamente, porque antes era con cita, pero ahora no. Entonces, bueno, solo para que lo tenga en cuenta. Dice Óscar, ¿cómo puedo sacar la cita para arraigo social? Mira, justo lo estábamos diciendo, Óscar, pero igual esta gente que nos ha preguntado en español nos ha dejado de escuchar. No sé cómo les avisaremos. Luego lo piensas, Raquel, cómo les avisamos de que les hemos contestado. Pero, Óscar, no esperes a cita. Aplica telemáticamente, te lo podemos aplicar nosotros si no sabes, pero es que es muchísimo mejor. Es que citas cada vez va a haber menos y se caducan los documentos, tardas, hay que aplicar telemáticamente, está funcionando fenomenal. No sé si hay más, tal. No, yo creo que ya estamos, Juan. Pues, ¿me puedes decir cómo sacarla? Sí, ya está. Vale, pues Juan, pues muchas gracias, como siempre, por acompañarme.
Yes, you're welcome, Ainhoa. And just to remind everyone that we are very near to December, so every UK citizen must apply for the permit before Brexit happens. So if you're a British national, remember that the last day of this year, the last day that you can apply for this permit. So if you are living in Spain or planning to move to Spain soon, you should try to apply for this permit before that happens, because we don't know what is going to happen after 2020 passes, and we have 2021 just like very soon. So be aware of that.
It's true. Thank you for that reminder. Yesterday I had a consultation and we are doing one. We are doing every week several. Thank you, Juan. See you. Well, I see you tomorrow with our viewers. See you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.